So it turns out that everyone is wrong about Scorn. I've been watching a lot of reviews on the game, and I've gotten to play through it myself after watching a few of these spoiler-free reviews, and I'm pretty blown away at the complaints I'm hearing as far as the combat goes and the deaths, repeated deaths, and losing progress. In my playthrough, I literally died twice. Neither of them were in Chapter 3, which is the one that everyone complains about because it's so combat intensive, and they're so ill-equipped with health and ammo to deal with it. Both of them were in Chapter 4, and they were both my fault. And honestly, the combat is fine. In fact, I really enjoy the combat in this game. And what's more, I'm going to show you exactly how you're supposed to deal with enemies in this game. And guess what? The developers gave us a major hint in the narrated trailer. There's a moment in that trailer when he says, "The creatures you find in this world want nothing more than to be left alone." Well, guess what? That's exactly what you do in this game. If you come across an enemy, 9 times out of 10, he has not spotted you yet. He does not know you're there. So what do? You stand there. Maybe you back up a little bit. And if you watch him, he will follow a path because he lives in this little world and he's going somewhere. And he will crawl into a hole. He will literally leave the space. And this happens 99% of the time when you encounter an enemy, big or small. Even when you encounter an enemy in a very narrow hallway, all you have to do is back up into the previous room. And I promise you, if you just wait and be a little patient, that enemy will either completely leave by going the opposite direction or go into the room you're in and find a place to leave. These enemies are so easy to avoid. They have such poor hearing, such poor eyesight, and they will not track you through room after room. They will literally, in every chance they're given, find a way to avoid you. So that's all you have to do with them. And complaining that there's a scarcity of ammo and health is just laughable to me. There are so many health replenishing machines and ammo replenishing machines. I was constantly refilling my ammo and health when I really didn't need it. I had maybe 1 hit from an enemy. I maybe had used 1 or 2 bullets at the most, and here I am refilling all of my stuff again. I was never starving for resources. I also never, not once, had to use the piston gun in combat. And that's why the pistol is an optional weapon. It rewards the player who explores every nook and cranny, and it slightly punishes the player who rushes. But even if you don't collect the pistol in your playthrough, you are more than fine to get through the game with just the piston gun until you come across the more powerful rifle. In fact, I only used my pistol in Chapter 3 2 times, and that was just because I was curious to see what it did. I did not have to use it at all. I was never in a situation where I needed to shoot. Those situations really only came in Chapter 4, and I even say that loosely because I didn't need to fight there. There was something where I agitated a really big creature that's obviously like the mother of all these smaller creatures, and it alerted enemies to my location, and they were very aggressive. And I tried to stand toe-to-toe and fight with them, and I died. What I really should have done was run out of the area, which is what I did on my second attempt, and it went fine. By the way, that death wasted maybe 30 seconds. The second time I died, also in Chapter 4, was again when I activated something that agitated this giant creature, and 2 of the bigger enemies came in, and I slowly reacted because I was trying to fight one of them. And it turns out the second one showed up. I wasn't expecting it to. And they came at me from 2 angles, and they basically sandwiched me and killed me. On my second attempt, I just immediately ran out of there, and I was fine. The lesson is, if you come across an enemy and it hasn't spotted you, stand back, wait for it to leave. It's going somewhere, and it doesn't want to deal with you. If you're put in a situation where the enemy already knows you're there, and you're very close to it, find a way to run out of the room and then use your plentiful health refills to heal up if you get hit. Just like everything in this game, the enemies are also a puzzle, and you have to treat them like that. The only time you should use your weaponry is if you need to stagger an enemy before you run out of a room, if you've encountered 2 enemies at one time, which is a death sentence, you need to stagger or kill one of them, run away, or if you just want to have a little bit of fun and you have plenty of ammo, go for it. But as I've proven in this video, you never have to use weaponry in this game, and you should not be dying more than a couple times before you learn your lesson that these enemies are to be avoided, and you need a little bit of patience to let them move on and leave the room that you're trying to access. I think what the developers have done with enemy interactions in this game is actually pretty brilliant. Through just simple scripted events of you coming across an enemy and seeing it crawl into a hole, they're teaching you that you do not have to deal with these animals. Just simply wait it out and you will be fine. But if you're going to be impatient, if you're going to run in there, you're going to get punished, and that's the design of the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below. Do you think I'm full of shit? Whatever. And I'll see you in another video soon. I love this game, and you're going to see more footage of it from me.